All right, welcome back to the hangar. So working on the F-15 here. Um, I had most of it done, but because I got sick of dealing with the Futaba Gyro and the whole DLPH2 setup, I went back and put a Cortex in and just said to hell with the Futaba stuff. I mean, it sucks. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They work for simple applications, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to work. I did get it to power up and actually, work essentially, but it was making like the stab would move up and down when you tilt the jet like it's supposed to, but then the other stab wouldn't work. It was like it wasn't, it was using, it's supposed to be able to do stab 1, elevator 2, aileron 1, aileron 2, rudder 1, rudder 2 is your stabilization channels. Well, every channel was doing something different, and I don't know why. And it was eating up 3 and 4 channels just to connect it and use it, which was fine. But because I couldn't get it right and the instructions are worthless, I actually found there are some things in the instructions that are wrong compared to what other people had. So I just got sick of it, and I hate to say that. I just went back to a Cortex. Cortex is simple. They work. They're overpriced. I mean, $300 for a damn gyro when you can get gyros for 50, 60, $100 that do the same thing. So that being said, so it is in. I just haven't hooked it up yet. I wanted to get the gyro or the radio system done, and then once that's done, you can hook up the gyro and then do the learn process. And essentially, I'm doing the 2 serial receivers, so you'll have 2 leads here that plug into each receiver, 1 and 2, and then the leads that are currently plugged into the receiver will plug into the other 2 ports on the gyro. I'm not using the actual lead that you can do because I'm doing a serial like a bus type setup. So there is that. But as far as everything else is good, I did figure out why the speed brake, and I'll show you guys here. So, and now it doesn't leak. I found one of the valves. Basically, you've got the electronic part of the valve, and then the side that actually the air routes through. Well, they're held together by these little clamps on each side, and one of them had basically, I don't know, I think somebody picked it up and kind of pulled it, and it was letting air seep out around the seal. So I fixed that, and now, as you can see, it doesn't lose air. So, and then so I got rudders, your stabs, ailerons, flaps. There's takeoff, there's landing, and then lights here. So kind of your normal lights. I don't know if there's a way to do it, but I wish the wingtip ones would just stay solid, like a position light. And then third position is your landing light there. Hope you guys can see that. And then you come back here, and so it works based off throttle. So my throttle's at idle, and then as I start coming up, they cut on. I'm actually gonna, hopefully I can adjust that, because it comes on at like 40, not even 40% throttle, and I'd like to get it a little higher up to simulate like the afterburners don't really kick on until you're kind of in the upper range. So I'm trying to get it to a higher setting before they cut on. So that's your afterburner rings. I can't put the landing gear up because I guess it has a built-in feature that allows you that once it's on the ground, it won't come up, but you can manually operate it. So let's see here. Let's see if hope you guys can see this. So you hit the switch, or you got to hold it here. Doors open, gear comes up, and then the doors will close here in a second. It's getting kind of low on air, so there you go. And then gear down, doors come open, gear comes down and locked. And then the nose steering, Oh, okay. So when the gear is up, the nose steering doesn't work, which is a good thing. So that way it's not inside here hitting the things. But once it's back down, and then of course brakes, you can't see that, but the brakes for the main wheels. So everything is done. I just got to finish doing like the final like endpoints and center points adjustments on everything, and then I'll hook the gyro back up and go through the learn process, which is pretty easy. You just put a little jumper on it, you power it up, and then it kind of puts it in whatever mode, you know, that you, based on what kind of radio system you have, and then you power it back off, power it back on with the jumper installed and then it starts going through the little, it'll, you know, if you've had a Cortex, you know, it'll, like the control surface will jump, and then you kind of go right stick, left stick, up, down, right rudder, left rudder, and then you'll adjust whatever switch you've got it for gain, and as you do those, it memorizes and stores it. And then when it's done, everything will jump, you power it down, and then you just check to make sure everything's moving per tilting and moving of the aircraft. So pretty simple stuff, but that's it for the most part. So, and I do have to finish the cockpit. I did put the back seat in. I had to bring it up a little bit. This cockpit is completely not scaled, but at least the seats look a little bit better. So I've got to put the front seat in, and then the sticks in, and then of course put it back together. I am going to paint this area through here black so it looks good and matches, because the inside of the cockpit is actually black too, so it'll all look black. Of course, you don't see much of it when it's like that. So anyways, so I'm gonna go eat and call it a night, and I'll come get back out here tomorrow and finish it. I would have already been done with this hours ago, but because I had to pull that nose apart to fix that air valve and everything. So, but you guys have a good one and have a good night. Cheers.